Hi, this is John. I'm actually going to show you how to use Creative Drawing 6 today. So I'm going to open that up. And before we do that, we have to get our artwork. You can get artwork offline. One of the ways I do it is I like getting like make-believe color in pages, or you could do Maple Leaf AI. That's a format that they can come in, or you can put in other formats like let's see what some of the other formats they use. BMP, put in BMP, it'll come up with different ones in that format. Uh, or you can put in clip art uh, or vector, and they're already vectorized. It's different ways that you can get different things. Today I'm actually going to be doing this site here. It's called clipartopolis.com, and it's very simple. They under their free samples, they give free samples about once a month, and this month these are the free ones, and it has all these formats: WMF, JEP, JPEG, GIF, CDR. CDR is a Corel drawing format, which works really good. AI is Adobe Illustrator format. EPS and BMP. Those are all drawing program formats. And you just click on these dots to save them, which I've already done that, so I'm not going to have to do it again. And where I saved mine, as I'm going to show you, is under my E drive, and I saved them under clip art, and I made a folder just for them, Patchy Skies, and I saved every single format here. They come in zip files. After you unzip them, you can get rid of your zip files. Actually, I can do that, I think. Oops. There we go. And delete. I don't need those files anymore. All I need is the open ones. And I'm going to close that because I don't need it. I already opened up my Corel drawings. I'm going to do create new. Next. This is your fabrics here, and each one of these depends on how the fabric is, depends on the underlayment. If you click on embroidery normal cotton, that's what I use the most, in white, it doesn't okay underlayment. If you want a heavier underlayment, maybe do embroidery normal light and standard normal light, and that would give you a little bit more of an underlayment. I'll go into that further under settings when I do a video on settings. This video is I'm going to show how to do applique. I'm going to click next. Now you can get your files from the files, or you can do an embroidery design, or you can get it from a scanner, image from webcam, new monogram, or new graphic. New monogram means that you're going to use the Corel systems to do a monogram. New graphic means that you're going to digitize by hand your own graphic. So we're actually going to use a file. The three little dots on both of these will open up a new window, and I'm actually going to go to my E drive, go to my clip art, and go to that patchy sky. Now each one of these depends on what they are. I will show you. AI, number 7, and it opens it up here, and it tells you the size. This is 2 inches by 1.5 inches, basically. It's kind of small, but with AI you're going to get lines throughout the design that you're going to have to delete. So That's one of the disadvantages of AI. BMP, I've never used BMP. I think that's more like a regular image, and the width and height on that is 13.89 by 10 point, and you can make this smaller after it's put in. I'm just going to open that up to see how that one opens, because I've never done it, as a backdrop or convert to outlines. I want to convert it to outlines. So next, and now it's converting to outlines. And accuracy, I'm going to increase that accuracy. And my colors, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 different colors. So I'm going to bring this all the way down to 8 and see how it does. Oops. 8. And it looks like it's lost a little bit. Let's do 9. And 10. There. 10 actually put the outline back on it again. So I can put trace, and it has my 10 colors, and I put finish. Now this did all of the background on it, because this is basically like JPEG, which I don't want my background. So I just highlight that and delete what I don't want. Anyways, I just wanted to show how each one does. Delete and delete. So this one is very much, oops, I don't know why that went there. And delete. And that's basically your design. So I'm actually going to close this out because I wanted to show you some of the other formats. And open. Oops. I don't want just open. I want file and new. And I'm actually going to do my normal in cotton and white. And reopen this. I didn't want BMP. So let's go back to Apache. And now CDR, that's create Corel Drawing. Now that one won't open. I need to open that up in my Corel Drawing package and then convert it to a CMX file. And CMX file will convert them into embroidery designs automatically, and that's why I like CDR. EPS, I've never used that one. Now it's showing the size of this one as 2,651.85 inches, which is enormous. So I wouldn't use that one. You'd have to resize it. GIF, I've never used. GIF. Now let's see what size that comes in. That comes in at a normal size. And let's see if it opens up as a JPEG type image or if it converts it directly. Now see it comes up the same way because this box opens. If this box doesn't open, that means it converts to embroidery designs automatically. And the same thing, it will have to go through the same how many colors and all this and trace. I'm going to cancel that out and I'm going to go back. Oops. And I'm going to pick a different one. So we're going to go back here, and JPEG, we already know what that is, and WMF, I've never done. Number 7, and that comes in at 2 inches by 2 inches. Let's open that just to see. And that one, freehand smoothing, I've never seen this actually pop up, and I'm just going to say OK, and it is coming up into a image already in finish. It's actually kind of small, so we can actually enlarge it. Let's go to my hoop. My hoop I made myself, and to make your own hoop, you add new, and then I went to inches, and the width I put in 6.25, and the height I put in 10.25 because that's the height and width of my quartet or XL 400 or the XL 550. All of those hoops that's the size of them, and I'm going to hit enter, and up here is where I put the name, and then I click add and it'll add my hoop. I'm closing this because I already have that already, John's large, and it's already here. I want to rotate my hoop and click OK. I'm going to select all on this, and I'm going to make it the size of my hoop, or almost the size of my hoop, and right about there. Now if I go back to my hoop, I can center my design and click OK, and that centers my design. Now I noticed on this one some of the design elements aren't stitched out really nicely, so I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the AI because I know that the AI design is probably the best one other than the CDR. The CDR, like I said, you're going to need Corel drawings 5x or lower, 3x or 4x. You can get the 6x, it's going to be expensive, but I would go with one that is an older one because all you're doing is converting the files. Okay, this, I don't want this one. Let's go back to Patchy Skies. I'm actually going to do an AI. Like I said, it makes lines in it. Click OK and click next, and it already does it as a design, and click finish. Now I'm going to switch my hoop over on its side again, and I'm going to select all, and I'm going to increase this to the size of my hoop, and I'm going to do center, so it's centered in my hoop, and I'm actually going to make this line smaller, so it's only a row of one colors that I can see, and I'm going to detach this object properties. This object properties can float around, or you can right click it and put dock in, and it'll dock it, or you just grab it and bring it down and I'll undock it. I like having it floating, that way I can move it around if it gets in my way or whatever. What I need to do on this is there's certain things that I have to adjust to make this design a better design than what it is. As you can see, there's lines throughout the eyes on both sides, the cloud on both sides, and on here there's little lines also. I'm not going to worry so much about the lines because if I was going to leave this into a fill stitch, I'm going to show you how to leave this into the fill stitch first, and then we'll show you how to turn it into an applique. I'm going to increase the size to 150, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these lines that I don't want. And the way I do that is right underneath the first one, it says rectangle section, there is a edit shape nodes. You click on the edit shape nodes, click on the design, and then the square ones are the ones I want to get rid of. There's a square one there and there. If you notice, if I just move it a little bit, it goes from round to square, round to square. So you want the square one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click with my left, double click left, and then click once right and delete node. And that deleted that node. Same with this one. You want the square one. You're going to double click left, click right, and delete node. And I'm going to do it on this side too. Double click left, click right, delete node. And up here, double click left, delete click right and delete node. And I'm going to do that with the sky also. So I come down here, grab the square ones, double click, right, and delete. Double click left, click right, and delete. And double click right, double click left, click right, and delete node. And down here, double click left, click right, delete node. And that changed that. Now I'm going to do some other changes in here. I'm not going to remove these ones because these ones are really, really intense, and I would have a hard time putting them in. What I can do is I can grab that, and I can, let's go back up to the square here, and I can just do the circle only and do copy. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select that and put delete. Well, it's not deleting the nodes, so I'm going to grab the nodes and I'm going to grab those and delete nodes. And I'm going to grab those and delete nodes. Grab those 4, delete nodes. And how I'm doing that is I'm pressing down on the left button, and then I'm using the mouse to highlight over them, and then I let go of the left button. They're highlighted, and then I right click and I delete nodes. So you press down on your left, highlight, let go, right click, delete nodes. And that's how you delete those nodes. Now all of those nodes are deleted. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further so I can see. Now if I select, I still see that there's white marks there, so I'm going to delete those also. Delete. 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 And delete. Okay, now those are deleted. Now I'm going to go back here and see if I can get rid of some of these. I'm going to get rid of some of these blocks. Delete node. Now see this node here, if I delete it, delete node, it actually crosses, and you can actually see how they're all intertwined together, these lines. If I wanted to get rid of all of them easily, I'm going to decrease this down to 250 so I can actually get all of those nodes in one image, like right here. And I'm going to highlight all of those nodes, and I'm going to delete nodes. Now that got rid of that completely. Now how do I fill that back in? I'm going to go down here. Where is it? Okay, click on the pen, go down. Now see, if you go right to the corner of this and click on and hold, you can change which ones that you want. This one is create shapes. This one is draw freehand, create outline shapes, and magic wand. I'm going to use that one there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just redraw this shape right where it was. And if you push up, it'll move the image around on you. And once these, you come back to the beginning and you go right over the dot, it will close it up. Now that's closed. And I right clicked and it filled it. Now what color do I want that? I want that this color. So let's select, find out what this color is, and it's that one there. So I'm going to go over here, click on this, and get this color. Now there's still a blue outline. What's that dark yellow outline? That dark yellow outline is the dark yellow. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click on that blue, and I'm going to make the blue into a dark yellow outline. And now it's filled. Now if I want to paste these dots, I can paste that back, and I can paste another one and move it. Oops. And sorry. And move it and make it smaller. And copy. And paste. And move that one. And paste. Move that one. And paste. Now just to get this to the way that I wanted it, I had to do all of this extra work. But now those lines aren't in there, and I can actually take this and change the direction of the stitch, which I want to go that way. In all of these, I want to change into fill stitches, so I'm going to change those into fill stitches. And I can do the same thing on this one here. I want to get rid of that whole thing and redraw it in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the second one, and I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to, I left clicked on that to bring them all up. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to highlight all of them, and I'm going to delete node. Now if I do select, there are still circles in here. If you go over them, you can see them right there. I can put a fill stitch in on that one, and I can do a copy. And what I want to do is I want to highlight those and delete all of them that are in that section. So I'm going to, there they all are, highlight, and I'm going to delete them. Now I can go back to my little pen, and I'm going to just take it and follow this. And you can zoom into 600 if you want, if you really want to make sure that you have these on the lines and that they're exactly the way they should be. I don't do that. I find this is just the easiest way that I was going to get all those lines out of there that I did not want. I guess I'm just going to do this video as a fill video. I'll do the exact same one with an applique because it's done totally different. So I will do another. Now it's all filled in. I'm going to right click, and it's in there. I already know what color it is, so I want the outline to be, oops, sorry, the outline to be yellow, and oops, don't want that there. Grab the top one, and we're going to do the inside the lighter yellow, and after that I'm going to paste, and there's a dot, and I'm going to paste again. Now there's 2 dots there, and I'm going to put about 5 of them here, and I'm going to paste again. And this one here, I think I'm going to make a little bit larger, and I'm going to paste again. One right there, and paste one more time, and move it down here, and that takes care of that. Now some of the other things that I want to do with this design is, like this line here, I want into a satin stitch. The mouth I want into a satin stitch, and I don't want it yellow, I want it black. So down here you see that it's a dark yellow and the pencil is on the top half. They have these split in half because the top half is for run and stitch and satin stitch, and the bottom half is for fill stitches. So I'm going to do a top half of this black, so the same color as the eyes, and now it's the same color as the eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to make that into a satin stitch, and I can take around here. I'm going to change the direction, which this is your direction tool up here, and I'm going to change the direction of the clouds, and I'm going to change the directions of these dots. I'm actually going to make them go up and down. Make sure that they're all fill stitches. Sometimes you have designs where some of them are fill and some are satin. You can change a stitch, so I'm just going to do that. Now I'm going to take the outline of each one and turn it into a satin stitch, because I think it looks better than a run and stitch. And then I'm going to do the outline around the cloud. And that cloud's done. Now I'm going to do the other cloud. Now the other cloud, I want to change directions of the stitch on these. The white ones I'm going to have this way, and the blue ones I'm going to have this way. Same with this one. Blue ones this way, white ones this way. And it helps not to have all your stitches the same direction also. Now I'm going to highlight that line and make it into a satin stitch, that one into a satin stitch, that one into a satin stitch, and then around the cloud I'm going to do into a satin stitch. So that takes care of that. Then I want to fix the eyes. He's supposed to have 2 eyelashes on each one. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to make it into a serial stitch, and I'm going to move it to the front of the design, or I'll actually show you how to move that, because right now it's on top of the eyeball and we want it underneath that eyeball. I'm going to actually copy and paste, because I want 2 of these, and I'm going to move it, and then I'm going to rotate it, and now he has 2. And I'm going to paste again, because I already know the other eye doesn't have any. I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it over to the other eye, and I am going to rotate it. Oops. Highlight that, rotate, oops, I want to change the size of it. I want to rotate it, move it into place, and I'm going to copy, oops, copy and paste. Now I'm going to take it and move the second one over, and I'm going to rotate that one. Now he has 2 eyelashes on that side also. And I'm going to go around the eye. Now if I go around the eye, I can highlight the eye and then auto border, and I'm going to have that at 1 millimeter, and it's a serial stitch, and it's on the outside, and click OK. Now that runs it around the outside. I don't want white, so I'm coming down here. I'm going to pick the color of my eye and change it to black. And I'm going to do the same with this eye. I'm going to highlight the eye, left click, then right click, auto border, and then 1 millimeter, click OK. It's white. Come down here and change it to black. So that is all taken care of. Now the only other thing that I need to do, so I'm going to zoom out, is I need around the whole entire moon, which I'm going to do into a satin stitch. But first, before I do that, I want to just, if I can, I'm going to zoom in to about 400, and I want just, if I can get it, that's a run and stitch around the whole entire thing. I just want a run and stitch that, I don't know if I can, I'm going to move this just to see if there is a secondary run and stitch, and there is. That secondary run and stitch, I want to convert that into a serial stitch. So now I'm going to click this and I'm going to move it back to where it was. And let's move this and move this. I just want to make sure that it's fairly where it should be. Okay, it looks good, so we're going to leave it. Okay, and that run and stitch, I'm going to, let's see if I can grab that run and stitch. I want the run and stitch, which sometimes it's hard to get to. Right there. And I'm going to change the order to the front of the design. There, now it's on top of it. I'm going to do the same with this one here. Let's see if I can grab, I don't want this one, I want the run and stitch that is right there. And I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change the order to the front of the design. Now I'm going to do around the moon, and I'm going to do a satin stitch, and I'm going to move that to the front of the design. And by doing it to the front of the design, it covers up the edges. Now I can zoom out, and my whole design is done. I want to change the direction of the stitches on this moon. I'm going to change it to this size, and I didn't do the directions on this either, which I did those that way. I'm going to do these this way, and that will take care of that. And my design is done except for the order of the eyelashes. Now to change the order of the eyelashes and stuff, I need to go down here and advanced settings and click OK. I can do it that way. And to view, I have to go to my tools, click on auto sequencer, and then view. It's not allowing me to do that. I need to go up here onto my rectangle selection first. There it is. Okay. Now I can click down here and do advanced and click OK, and that will allow me to select the order in which that I want these done. I can put that one all the way up to the end like that. And let's see, the eyeballs. Let's zoom in. If you go to the second one, that zooms in on all the pieces. Now here's your eye. That's the center of the eye. That's around the eye. Oops, nope, that's the mouth. That's around the eye. Okay, so you want the around the eye above the black, but the two pieces you want below the black, so you want to move them below the black. Now it's below the black. And I'm going to go and get the other eyes. I can find my, there it is. I moved it. And the other eye is right here. You want this below the center part of the black. And you want this one below the center part of the black. And that's how you change the order of things, or you can highlight it and you can change the order also. Back one to the back of the design, or to the front by one, to the back by one. And that back by one only does it one space at a time. If you do it back of the design, it goes all the way to the back of the design. And what I mean by back of the design is it goes to the beginning of the design because it's stitched out first, so it will be behind something else. It's sort of like on my sequencer. When I had the sequencer here, this is stitched out first. It's back of the center, back of the round, just like the center's behind this. It's stitched out first, and then that's stitched out. So you have your eyelashes stitched out, then the center stitched out, and then around stitched out. This is considered the front of the design is actually considered the back of the design when you digitize it. So if you want something to stitch on top of something else, put it to the back of the design. If you want it stitched out where it's shown on top of the design, you want it to the front of the design. It gets confusing. When you do orders and stuff, it gets confusing. Like this one here, I can take, oops, highlight that again, take that order. Now if I put that to the front of the design, I'm just going to do it front of the design, it covers up the satin stitches on both sides of it. I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see that. See, and I'm going to unclick it. You can actually see that it's on top of the stitches by moving it to the front of the design. Now if I move it to the, and let's see where that is on the sequencer. If I put that on the sequencer, that's number 51. Front of the design means it's the last thing stitched. Now if I move that and I put that to the back of design, now it's underneath the satin stitches. And what number is it? It's number 1 stitched. And I can move it manually by hand also. I can take this and move it there. Same with this. I can move it any direction I want, up and down. The cloud here, I want that done before the whites, so I'm going to put that all the way down here. These here, say I want them done first before anything else, I can move them down here and move this one down also, and put it right there. Now once I have all of my things how I want them, I can zoom out I'm going to zoom out to 150. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to do a playback to see how it stitches out. And I'm going to do start. Let's do it at 100%. Now it's doing the large white because that's what I had for it to do first. And I can fast forward through that. Then I had the blue, the blue, the blue, the yellow, and then I'm doing the whites. Now see, there's some orders that I don't like on here, and I'm going to show you why I don't like them in just a second. You have to be careful about your orders and how you do them, because they'll either be on top or underneath. Like this satin stitch right here, it's on top of the outer line of the cloud. You can see that it's on the outer line. Same with this one, but you want it underneath on the yellow. So underneath the blue and underneath the yellow on this. Same with this. You see this one underneath the yellow, on top of the blue, on top of the blue, on top of the blue. So how do I fix that? I go back to my sequencer. I want that one was fine. Let's see where I can find the other ones. There they are, right there. I want that one underneath the blue. I'm going to put this one up here. Okay, so now that line is underneath the blue and underneath the yellow. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab the other one of these, and I'm going to put it underneath this one. Now it's underneath and in the right section. Now this is this one, and it has all these ones, that one there, that one, and that one, that are all on top of it. So I'm just going to grab that one, and I'm going to move it up until I get, there's my little marks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there should be one more. Let's see where that is. And it's right there. And move it right there. Now it's underneath all of those. So it's in the right order. Having things in the right order makes a big difference on how they sew out. Now I can sew this out again. Play. Go down to 100%. Start. Fast forward. I already know what that's going to look like. And that, and that, and that. And all of those seem to be right and in the right directions. Now it's doing my stripes. And when around it, which covered it, now see how it's doing the satin stitch on around the little ones first and then on the edge? That's the direction I wanted it. And same there. Now there are running stitches going around these spaces here that I don't want. So I can zoom in to 300, and this is a running stitch. And it highlights it right here. I want that, and I want to delete it. I don't want that running stitch. Same with this one, it has a running stitch on top of it. And I want that, it highlighted the running stitch, and I want to delete it. There, I don't need the running stitches on those, so I just deleted them. And your design is complete and finished. So now how do we save it? we go to File, Save As, and this is number 7. So I'm going to go to my E drive, and I save it right in the same file that I got the picture from. It's going to take a second. That's on my external drive. It needs to warm up. Oh no, it shut down on me. Let's see if I can open it, and it will open up exactly to where I had it. Sometimes it'll do that for you, sometimes it won't. Please open. Yep, it opened up to where I had it. I just want to zoom in, make that into a single line, undock that, and zoom in to about 200. And I want to make sure that all of the work that I've done isn't lost, still underneath, so that everything's still the way it's supposed to be, stitched out the way it's supposed to be. Let's play it just to make sure. Start. Yep. And it's stitching out the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes if your machine shuts down on you, it won't save what you've worked on. Mine did on me. When I turned it back on, it opened it right back up, but it didn't open it up to what it was called. It's opened up to auto this strange number. So now we're going to save it. File, Save As. Like I said, I'm going to save it in my E drive under the file that I have already on it, which is Patchy Sky. Now I'm going to make a new folder here, and I'm going to put in another Patchy Sky. And I'm going to open that, and I'm going to, Patchy Sky, and I'm going to take that name and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it here because I don't need their name, and I'm going to put this Patchy Sky, and it's number 7, so I'm going to put 7, and it's a fill, and it's a 6 by 10 design, and this is draw. I'm saving it as draw first outside of the Patchy Sky because I just want my Huss and my XXX in the Patchy Sky ones, the ones that are the drawer, which is basically a CD6 file. I want outside of that because this one here, I'm going to have all of my other formats, and I'm going to have my color chart in, and I can zip it, and I can send it or share it or sell it. So I want this outside in case I need to work on it again, work on the design. So we're going to save it to the outside. But before I do that, I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to copy it again. Okay, so number 7, fill, 6 by 10, save. Now it's saved. File, Save As. Now I'm going to save all the formats, but the formats I'm going to save in here. And how I do mine is I do Huss first, save, and I do the generic. Click OK. Tells you how many stitches, 50,000 stitches. OK. And then File, Save As, same name, under Patchy Sky. Now we're going to do XXX, save, and I do the DOS, the top, 50,000 stitches. And now this one here, before on my old one, I don't know if it does it now, but whenever I saved as a PES first, it would shut down my computer. But if I saved as a DST and then a PES, it didn't shut down my computer. So now I always save as DST first, which is a DST is a high brand brother machine. So I save as the high brand it's a commercial embroidery machine, and I save it as that first, and I go down to normal and click OK, and then I'll save as the PES Under the Sky, and PES and save, and I do the Brother PE. I don't do the generic, I do Brother PE and click OK and save. Now I want to also save as my color chart. So I go down to print, and the print opens up my color chart. Now I don't need all of this stuff, so I'm going to click design only. So it just has the design. Now I want the header, which tells me my colors. I want the color changes, which tells me the color changes. I want the sequence icon, which tells me the sequences in which this stitched. Now I want the company name, which I put in my company name, and I'll have to show you how to do put in your company name, but I'm going to have to do it again myself because I don't have my company name in this one because I just installed it on this computer. So I'm going to have to do that again. Setup, and nope, I don't want setup. Well, I'm going to have to fix that, and I'll have to do that in a little bit. I do want 3D view, and then we go to save as a JPEG, and then we put in the name. That's why I saved it. Number 7, 6x10, saves me some time, and then I go to my clip art, patchy sky, and patchy sky, and save. Now when I open up my file, go to my E drive, go to patchy sky, and patchy sky, it has all of my files. It has this one here, and properties, and it tells you it's a DST, and this one here is a properties, is a HUS, so it has all of the ones that I want in there. It has my JPEG, which I can preview. And there's my JPEG with all the color changes. So everything's in there that I want. Now, if I was just doing that single one, I would zip this and share it. But there's 10 different designs, so I want to make sure that I do all 10 designs. So this design is basically done now. I can close that out. I can close that out. Now to get that back open, if I click on this and it doesn't open, like right now it's not opening. I go to view, I click on sequence, there it's opened. Unclick. Same with tools. You have your sequence up here. You want to make sure that you have your sequence checked. Now you can click on it and do advanced settings. But that's your design. It's all done. And thank you for letting me do this editorial for you. Thank you.